easily heard by all of you. But I know the word corruption, everybody knows, whether English or whatnot, everybody knows. And that is the topic we come to talk about. I want to say that the Directorate for Ethics and Integrity, a department of government which is under the President's office, people may have heard about it,
yes,
but they know it well. If I say that this was the department which was started when Honorable Maria Matembe was made minister in 1989. That is when that department was put in the office of the president.
yes,
And the main task given to us, is to rebuild ethical conduct and integrity in the society of Uganda. You know, bad behavior, moral decadence, corrupt tendencies. People are stealing, people are doing all sorts of bad things. That is what is summarized as poor breakdown of integrity and complete moral, ethical conduct is completely broken. And Honorable Maria Matembe was made minister in office of the president and charged with the responsibility that we should find means and ways of going back to that time in Uganda where, there was good living. You go to the market, you will find good things. The weighing scales are all good. You go to the shops, you will find same good measures. You go to an office, you ask for something in the office. If they had said that you will get this thing in 1 week, you will get it without somebody, turning around, delaying and whatnot, and asking you for money. So all this behavior, I know people there, I know the Lumasa, but they know what corruption is.
yes, yes.
But over time, people have now thought, and they now think that corruption is that one which you people in the radio shout about. Because you keep on talking only about iron sheets in Kampala, that is the corruption. They talk about, Kazinda, Prime Minister's office has stolen billions of shillings. That is not the only corruption.
Okay.
That is only one. And those are the big things. The bad thing, it is written in the Bible. Those bad things that you do, which God does not want, which you people do not like, is actually a result of your corrupt mind. If up to now there is anybody in the village there who has not taken his child to school, claiming there is no money, but he is right now drinking, he has little money for drinking,
yes,
but the child is at home, no money. That is corruption.
Okay.
You see, that is corruption. Your mind is corrupted and you don't see the value of education in your child. So the corruption is actually the loss of values, ethical values, good values that make us live in the society well. You go to get a letter to go and apply for passport. You go, then they say, get a letter from your LC1. You go to that LC1. The LC1, he even does not know how to write. You will ask the secretary to write that letter. Before he gives you, he said, you pay 10,000. 10,000 for what? And you see, they go with that money straight away to drink. That money is not, that is corruption.
Okay.
So the different forms of corruption is what government has been talking about and fighting. Our mission, what we have now started, because we have done so many. And in the year 2019, the policy of government, which the NR government announced in 1986 in the 10-point program number 7, which says eradication of corruption. That was actually the beginning of this policy. in 1986. Yes, the NR government, when they came to the bush, he said in point 7, we have come so that we can eradicate corruption. Eradication is actually zero tolerance, not to hide it.
Okay.
We have now written that into a book form, which is the policy.
Okay.
And of course, there has been work on this all along. Only that it has not been written like this. And the work, the fight against corruption has been in Uganda. You know, the IGG was formed in 1988, I think. Okay? And started working on that. Those were the different fights of corruption. But now, because people do not understand everything, we have written this policy. The policy, by definition, is a big plan of government to remove that particular problem. So, zero tolerance to corruption policy is the big plan of government, which it announced in 1986 to eradicate corruption in Uganda, so that it calls upon every person to reject this and work hard to remove it, to fight it, to prevent it, to stop it by whatever means, in whatever place they are, in their place of work.
Okay.
So that is the major thing we are going on now.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Okello. I remember in 2019, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, championed this zero tolerance to corruption policy to ensure that the government eradicates corruption in Uganda. So, what could be how is the implementation so far on this policy, and is there an achievement from it?
Yes, I want to say that as I said, the fighting of corruption has been long launched. In 2019, it was when this plan of government called the policy, we had finishing compiling into this big book.
Yes.
Because when it was said in 1986, it was not written anywhere. But action just started. Appointing those commission, even appointing the directorate was part of the action in 1998 to make this fight begin properly. And when it was appointed, we started documenting this. Started documenting what is it exactly, what is corruption, how can we fight it, what is the law, what makes it a crime, what is a crime if somebody does, what should be done. That is what has been happening. So the Anti-Corruption Act 2009 has been formed, Whistleblowers Protection Act, the 2013 National Ethical Values Policy, that is also a plan of actually taking the values of Uganda back so that we live well.
Okay.
And in 2019, 2019, there was that also the launch of the National Development Plan, the NDP3, which is the plan for development. Removal of corruption is part of causing development, because corruption deters development. Okay. So it ties with the National Development Plan 3. So we also designed the strategy, the National Anti-Corruption Strategy, which started from 2019 to 2024. That is the implementation arrangement of this. In that book, in that strategy, it calls upon different groups of persons what they should do in their places of work. And this time, because it is now 2.5 years, we're almost going to 3 years, we are out to check on every person. And as the directorate, now we are moving in a team throughout the country. And every week we are going to regional centers. We have been to 3 regional centers. We have been the North, the Lango and the Choli sub-region. We have been to West Nile sub-region. Last week we were in Teso sub-region. This week we are here in Elgon sub-region. We were yesterday in Kapchorwa. Today we are in Bale here. Some team of ours is already in Tororo. I'm moving to Busia tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And when we finish here, next week we are going to the Kigezi sub-region.
Yes.
Then we shall go to, I think, Mount Rwenzori. I think it's called Rwenzori sub-region.
Okay.
And then we shall come down to the center.
All right.
Now, what are we doing? We are asking everybody, the different groups, because the Constitution of Uganda 1995 also, Article 17, Wilkie,
Yes.
says it is the duty of every Ugandan to combat corruption and abuse of public property. It is in the Constitution, 1995. Most Ugandans do not know. That is their role.
Okay.
The Constitution calls upon them. They do not know. Now this policy has designed ways and means of how we can do it. Most people do not know. But although we have sent, we are now trying to go and waken up the people. Awaken the people. Say, wait, this corruption is not only that one in Kampala you hear about. It is everywhere. And we must realize that and come. How do we get it? Of course, you hear the talk on your radios, TVs. People say, corruption in Uganda. Corruption is too bad. No, corruption is increasing and whatnot. When the person says corruption is increasing, we ask, is increasing from what to what? You have not measured. And that's what we are now trying to do. Tell the people exactly what it is, tell what we can do, and then from there, we can begin saying, if all of us are working.
Okay, you talked of the whistleblowers. Many people like to be in that position or stand of acting as the whistleblowers against corruption, but you find many of them so worried that you can expose them and get danger from the people they have reported. How safe are they, like, according to you?
Weekly, what you are asking is what the media asked me this evening. You see, in Uganda,
yes,
when we mention something, then people, even when they have not read it, they begin talking about it so much. I want to tell you that all those people who talk about Whistleblowers Protection Act,
yes,
they do not know what that law is about. You get it?
Yes.
They don't know. They only know vaguely. But that law, we made it after the Anti-Corruption Act. The Whistleblowers Protection Act in English, I do not know, they will put it in Lumasa. It is a law which is put so that it is supposed to protect a person who comes underground and report something that seems there is corruption there.
Okay.
He does not tell it to anybody. There are people where and offices where you should take. And when you should take the truth, tell details of it, and give your particulars, leave it there, and they begin working on it without talking about it. But you see, some people want to do that when he has gone, then before he even reaches home, he branches there in their Kafunda, then he says, they will see, I've already reported them. You get it?
Starting praising themselves.
Yes. They are gone. You wait, next week, the IGG will get them. I've already reported. Then he wants to be a whistleblower. That is not whistleblowing. You get it? If you want to whistle, that means you don't want your identity to be known. And it is also incumbent upon the office you report to protect you. That information, they are not going to tell anybody that you are the one who has given it. That is that law. It gives how it should be reported to who and how it should be protected. And anybody who leaks that information, if it is brought to you, welcome, then you will have committed a crime. Again, that law says you should be arrested and taken to jail for leaking that information. But if you report and before you even reach home, you have already leaked that information, then you lose that protection. Because the word is protection. That is actually what is in that act. It is to protect your identity so that nothing wrong comes to you. You get it?
What do you think is causing these corrupt people to survive? Like, that they and no one reports them, so they get that chance of saying they're safe on their side. What are some of the things that are causing that now?
Well, one thing is, I want to tell you, because we have moved in all Uganda, one, the truth of the matter is, people have done so much this thing that at times they think that is not corruption. They only think stealing public money from public office, government office, is corruption. You get it?
Yes.
I have here the religious leaders. I have been talking to them. There are things that happen in the church which are pure corrupt tendencies. You get it?
Yes.
I want to tell you, even the givings that we give, those fellows who are wardens, they go and count the money. Some of them, even when they are counting, pick some of the money and put it in their pocket.
Hey.
I am telling you. The wardens, those ones in there.
Yes.
Some of the religious leaders, when they are given money to help the church, they don't declare to the church, to the parishioners, they hide it off. Some of them, they bring the money to do in the work of the church there, because they are the parish priests. They divert the money and do other things. All those are corrupt tendencies.
Yes.
That's why we say corruption is everywhere. I told you how an LC1, before he gives you the letter, will want money. That is corruption.
Okay.
Votes.
Yes.
You are members, you listeners out there, you have just been voting. I'm told there was a by-election in Okello yesterday. People have been voting there. The whole of last week, those candidates have been running about with the money giving to voters. That is true. What is that money? That is corruption. You get it? Yes. And the voters say, unless you give us money, there will be no vote. Unless you give us money, there is no vote. They do not say that they are corrupt. They do not say they are corrupt. But that is exactly where corruption is. So, listeners, I want to say that the nature of corruption is in all places in Uganda. Our mission that we are now moving on, we are going, one, to tell everybody that any bad thing you see in your school, in your hospital, the loss of drugs in the hospital, the stealing of exams, that your headmaster steal exams so that your children can pass highly, is corruption. Yes.
Which most people don't know that. They don't know that.
They only think that the student, the teacher should go and steal the exam so that their children get A's. If your child steal exam, your child is not educated. He will go to the next class and will be chased because you don't know what you have learned. But your result will show you have got an A, you have got a 1. When you are not, that is corruption.
Okay.
And that is actually the worst corruption.
Right.
Because you are killing the life of the children.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are not educating them. So this is what we are telling you. So the fight against corruption is everywhere where this thing happens. And all of us should do it.
All right.
And how we should do it is that we should open our eyes to see, to know it, and then talk about it.
Okay.
And that's why I was talking to the media. And that's why I'm on radio to talk to everybody who will listen.
Probably.
We must rise up to talk about it. We must rise up to report to the authorities. And we talk about it so that everybody gets to know what is happening.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bwana Okello. Thanks for such a good submission. Murekere simula yose myana ndo hamba hotine ligone FM Luhamba. Beba masaba holiba cheni okay papo Alex Okello ganye permanent secretary wa Directorate for Ethics and Integrity nabani Pastor Masa Aida murangisi webachilima Mumbale Church Elders Fellowship Saida Mumira for Life Church. Then nabani Reverend Eridadi Milton Shisa Sabdi Namwebika wa St. Andrews Cathedral Mumbale Diocese Church of Uganda. So ebulebe lunakolesha lero bakine bali kukanika ku corruption kuli bwe bongo. Nyabwe na wesindike ngobulera isi sindikanga bulesi papa Reverend nyiraba ko ni shesi nyirongera kulo moye buli bwe wongo nyanya luma saburo lwene buli bwe wongo we call it buli bwe wongo iwongo luma service corruption
iwongo
wongo
buli iwongo ne aliko ni wadi babandaye kiro monga bulya hani kulya shihani shishowo
yes
bishakira umundu ukundi era niyo moyo yesi defakwa chihari runa kulesha lero baba kanisi abakuba permanent secretary kani hari kwamba muna yo mwaka shopi mbara yusa conference ngabali ko government ro hakako na fenga baba kanisi mu makanisa ni mizikiti ne bakanisa mu mesayo kawere kubona ndi nafwe kuyambira atwera mu mulimo kuno kubona ndi fefe ngaba kanisi ne fakone fanda shikali chesi kukola isa kudufurira mu yusa chimiyo che babandu ne kulomba kuri bona ukupendulu mundenyoke kulomba kuri bali behwaera lo yakuba isoro yine saranga bali corruption itse kula kuri kuye wongo ku ya yinika mu bandu bananga papa mutsa kulunga nakanikire pamene secretary byabereho tsihola tsihanyi mbere kamudandi kusoranisa irobo ino ye bulyanga nabo yokulye wongo nebindu ngani kwirosera ko banandi akusoranisa nebyonga nibirosera kuoneka ashire bashetsa
papa ngasire bamwene bakusirera wotawe ngenye barangirisi bedini sina shesi mukola kuyetundira toni government kumula buli bwe wongo
shesi kukolelewe nebe subere kubira kureba nanga bakanisi fefe atwele buli mboka isumunda nina mushituti kuzi akubulira abali kukaniha ishi kumoyo ko mundu bali kukaniha kuyusa ko tsisambe tya abantu nga ibayibuli kubolera mwenenye ni mwibishe byonako byenye ali kwibisa abo iwongoyi yishira kuyonako byesu munda kire kukwibisa kandi nafuri fefe mukanisa ni kuitsa bando kufukamira kulomba obani kulombesa le kwiyakira umundu aba wibisire shikabere shirayitawe kandi nashiriyo fefe ngaba kanisi kwalombere babandu kunyowa kubona ndi wera yuse kimiyo cyabwe ino mwe kabiri wabo babere ngakubolera mo yawere yakusoma mu byawandikwa bikosefu nga bible ikukulanga iranga abandi ne mwitse mutesera kweta natwera lyo byoneko byenyu byakabanga byafwana byarandara byafana kama fuki wera malikane mbiyose kandi nafe kumanya kuri babandu ba Uganda babandu be mumbale babandu ba bulyando ositsana nga permanent secretary nama kukanira iukhulye wongo ino kutandikira mungo kutandikira mu bandu febene ni mu makanisa nga nalomere ni mu butale nga nalomere ni hungudo nga nalomere ni mu bitongole bikhali bitola nga nalomere kale fefe ngaba kanisi shikera shirome khashiri fefe ni kulanga abantu khuli ni mwitse mwibise ne mungone bona bula mubwenye shishindu shino sha corruption nasho shiri shitwera kulomotse bibyonako sese abantu bashire kubanga bambaza ko nabi no kubera muyino yakanikubire ho bina buliyando nenga yangabanga iliyo bibere nga bikoleka kumara obulyanga nenga bekubikanya ko nebo ngane mwirosera ni abantu kuyusa mengola isambo yakulya mo ina iyo kukola mo bibindu byawe munda akujya kewongo nga walolelero munda akujya kananga walolelero ne amini kama kesine ko kabanga kirosera nefefe ngaba kanzi kwa nokori were anyala wayusa bibyambaso bya babandi kubona ndi kulolera inzo watwana iye linambo lyefenga Uganda kulolera inzo watwana iye shisi chefenga mbale namwe Elgon region kubona ndi tsingu ndo tsefe tsingonebwa kama marwali no kama lesi kama ashuswa ni bibindu kama somero kefe kama lekero kefe kamonebwa nero ko bali abantu beri sababene babatsire mu office beri sababene baba khutsa khola binani ni khuli akana babandi kana kwa bananga kuisiwa yenyi maluka kana ngaba kanisi nisho chitwera ko bali ku bindu byesi lefe ko loko kupinisa nga kama kanga tsikanisa nga kimiziki tsikelezi yako manandi lefe ko itubira kuambagana ni government wanya kusola ntsachiro moyo wanya
papa nenga barangisi bedini wo wamba sakosinza kwa assessment yenywe si na sisi hasisa kulwanisa buli we wongo usinzira kusi
shihashisire nabi fefe ng'abakandisi nityo nga nobone mu buli sekita yositsana ye babandu tsisambo babandu sebachimilisi khulanga khuli buntu bulamu namwe bubwirama babandu bwawamo umundu khukanisa okundi shindu shilayi byawamo era efwe nga khusoma ebayibuli mu Matayo sola musafu yero 12 alomari kholera babandu abandi nga nokana babandu abandi bakholerewo nayali babandu khubona ndi khukwikanisa babene khukwiramo shirebo shokupapa shimanyisa ndi babandu bikhala bikanisa babene namwe ni khukopelesa bibikhali byabwe ta kale esho nesho shakhorera byanga khupapa Wycliffe ndi umundu abona ali uyo wombekhera enzu khubirira mu bulyanga uyo wakulira motoka khubirira mu khulyewongo umundu ne wakopa shesi akamanyireta kali shiro ubona ndi fefe nga babandu bali khusolanisa ilomo yine yebulyanga yatsile esitowa lwekho batsisambo mu bandu tsawelemo tsiye mu buntu bulamu bubwirama mulu masaba bubwirama khubwiriza bulayi byawele mu bandu ni khukanisa babandu abandi bulayi bwabwe babandu bebonanga biwulira bali bebona babene nenga bandi bayibuli yakhubolere kana umwisano wowo love your neighbor as you love yourself mene kana umwisano wowo nga nawe niwe kana mwene muluganda lyagala mulirano awo nga bweyagala wekka shikira kumulanga kwesi kuli khukupa ndi khukukula means announce kuri babandu betsemo itsamu yekhukanana nga shibi kyakholekherewo newulira ori umulirano wone yewulira ari kyakholekherewa nayo khamuyete nali khukuyetana sebushiliwo tawe babandu khukana khwaola ibayibuli yomene the love has grown cold eli khukana khwaola khweba oluganda kale nashilyo ifefe nga tsikanisa ni babakanisi bulyandotsana oba mizikiti oba mukelezia mukanisa alichikukolo sha brandi bale bekhakhwileyo nga wele nakana khukana nefenyene khubona ndi shesu kanisa washowo shibe shilayi kale kuli kumulanga kwilangira kuri khakhwinyukhe kusola ni sesolo yino ikhulya
wanyala lokali rebrandi inakobelesi mai pastor Aida ngana khubolrakho by the way uli pastor Miracle Life Church and then wava see this so interesting women leader uli umurangirisi we bachelema mu ministry so mai ngana khubolrakho ngenywe bachelema kuritire sinese muri kutsanga murambisa khubonanga mubonanga corruption namwe buli bwewongo lukana bukendesebwa mwinambo ly'Uganda babuwerawera.
Nasimire, thank you brother Wycliffe. Nganisi mulire our dear listeners. Maybe let me talk as a women leader mbale. Ngomurangirisi we bachira mamu mbale Church Elders Fellowship. Yes asibwe bale bali kukuliriza. Kunsonga eno ya corruption oba okulyenguzi omuganda bwagamba nti ensonga ekutte waggulu ne wansi yamirira las from down yamamusife itandika ninaffe just like our PS has elaborated bisera bifucha bugali kwambasa kuti inguzi lyaleyi nenge itandika ninaffe fobeni ninawe ninase achinga bekwame kuchikulukulu alisenguzi ninaffe fobeni niyo kukola chini kunanika kulwana. It is us to fight. That is when we shall see the victory to defeat corruption. Kale ngabamayi bali ibulafu yoni bababa mwesizana inguzi iberenge agenda kwamira dala muzingo right from our homes, from our families, just like it was said by our PS. It is the very us to fight it. Bible ikulomera in the book of Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So one of the biggest problem here is ignorance. People are ignorant. They do not know that they are in corruption. For example, Bwana PS, we have our children after school. They have graduated, they have their papers, qualified very well. A job has been advertised, a district or wherever, for that person to go through, you must have gone through the back door, put there some good money before you're given that, or even just to sit for an interview, one has to put.
District service.
So you find that because people are ignorant, people do not know that as a Ugandan, it's your right to apply whenever there is an opportunity, anywhere. And then if there is an advert, anyone is free to apply. If they qualify, they go through. So if people are ignorant, people do not know their rights as Ugandans, corruption begins from there. So one of the things in all this that I've come to understand is kugoboleyo kusomesa batu. Thank you very much, PS, for coming down to educate the masses. Because the only way for us to overcome this is when the masses have understood. We are going back to the churches and we make it clear. Sometimes we preach, but not knowing that we are addressing this. But this time, if we can do that, at the back of our knowledge, knowing that we are fighting, there is a vice that we are dealing with here, and it begins with us as leaders. We talk to people. When people come in our congregations, we are speaking to all diverse categories of people. So we tell them that the reason as to why our prisons are full is because of corruption. It begins from there. So leka batu bategeere batu bamanye bati byangafu bino byandanyika ninaffe fo beene kwamirera lengo in the schools, like he talked about, cheating of exams, even in the markets, wherever we go. If you have not put kitu kidogo, then you're not helped, then you're not seen through. We have very many corridors for someone to attain something. Can we have that God-fearing country as per our motto, for God and my country? We go back and we talk to people. Our dear listeners out there who are listening to us, can we go back, us as mothers? Let me talk to the mothers, because I'm a mother, I'm a woman. As even we are breastfeeding our babies, we talk to that baby. In fact, before breastfeeding, right when the baby is in the womb, you tell the baby that as you're coming out, son, as you're coming out, daughter, this is the world, but you have to live different, and we are fighting this. Okay. We shall make it together.
All right. Thank you so much, Wanyana. Kene ngobole suri na basa keno beni kwongela ho Wanyana. Back to Bwana Okello, Community Secretary. Have you talked about all that? The locals, there's something I realized from our community, the locals failing to report the authorities, saying now is a big man, an authority. It's the big man in the government. Now where can I report? How can you advise such people before you make some additional submission?
Well, you know, our people do not know that if you are big, you are only big because of what you do. Not what you are. You get it?
Okay.
That is what makes you big. If that big person goes and steals and is caught stealing, will it still remain big?
No.
Huh?
No.
Will it still remain big? Certainly no.
Yes.
I want to tell you here, because I know here people, that is unfortunately me. I use examples which is life, which is happening. Your own minister here has been arrested because of iron sheets. Not so. Is the minister still being held big like she was before?
That's a very clear example.
You get it?
Yes.
So, actually, if we want our people to be big, we should advise, we should tell the person to be clean and do the right thing, and people will lift you up. I was telling the religious leaders,
yes,
I gave the example of King David. King David. King David was picked to be a king when he was a small boy, and God lifted him up in the life. And in 1 Chronicles chapter 17, verse 16, David was praying to God. He said, God, who am I that you have, and my family, that you have brought me this far? He was kneeling down before the God. But he was a whole great king. You get it?
Yes, yes.
Humility. If you want to be big, you come down and be small. You get it?
Okay.
Yes. I will give you another example from the Bible. Jesus, a whole son of God, came down to heaven. Very big in heaven, but came down to earth.
Yes.
And when he came down, he was not born in Mbale main hospital. He was born in a kraal.
Exactly, yes.
Not even in a good home, but in a kraal where cows were. You get my meaning?
I get it.
When it was being done like that, it was showing us that when you are big and you come to serve your people, calm down. And when you calm down, have humility. I told them, I said, the word we must do, all of us must humble ourselves. And when we humble ourselves, then we come down to God, pray, and then God will hear us and will remove all the bad things.
Okay.
And our people will see that, oh, so-and-so is really indeed big. You get it?
Yes.
So, these people, when you fear reporting the bad person, you're actually killing him.
Okay.
Yes.
How?
When the person is doing a bad thing and you keep hiding and it continues doing it, you are actually killing him. Because one time, those bad things will come up and you will see how that person is falling from up there.
Okay. That's what
You get it?
Yes.
That is what it means.
Okay.
So, hiding, telling the big person, if your son has just got from Makerere a degree, has just started working, and in 1 year he drives home in a big car, V8, and you, the father, you say, my son, this is great. You are killing your child.
Okay.
Ask him, how much is this? Where did you get this? No. You get it? But if you now begin holding it up there, my son, you have done a great thing. This is good. You are killing him. Because soon they will begin following. They will say, something has done there. You will hear him begin running. He will not even run back to you. You will hear he has gone off to America. Oh, he has gone where? And that is the end of the job. Has he not fallen?
Has fallen.
That is what it is. So if you continue hiding the people who are doing bad things, you are killing them. Because that thing, one day, we have a proverb in our vernacular. I cannot say it, but I know there is also the same proverb here. The proverb is, even if you sleep with your mother-in-law under the water, that one will still come out. I don't know what proverb is near there.
Because
but
the curse will be followed.
In the Bible, it says that even when you whisper in darkness, even when you whisper something in darkness, that whisper will be proclaimed on the rooftops.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
It is in the Bible.
Okay, yes.
So that is what life is. So whatever we do, those so-called big people, I have said it in Bali, because, by the way, the Honorable Minister was my friend. Yes, when she was, I told the media people, I said, when she was still in the media, it was my friend. I used to talk to her.
Okay.
And now, she was lifted up, but she's falling. No, sir.
Yes.
That is what it is.
That's
And that's what corruption is. It's bad. Very bad.
Okay.
So,
thank you so much. Maybe in addition, because you want to go to callers, so hear what our listeners...
Before we go to callers, I want to tell you people that our mission here, that is why we are moving. I told you that this is the fourth leg. What we all want is, we want this word of fighting to change. I've told all my listeners today, all this while, we should change. When we talk about fighting corruption, we do not know what we are fighting, because the religious leaders will say, well, how do we fight? We cannot report because we don't know. You get it?
Yes.
Yes. So I have emphasized and said, what you do is, let us replace the word fight by promotion of integrity. That is prevention of all those bad things. You can prevent it by change of attitude. We change the minds of the people, telling the people this is bad, and when they change from it, then that one, the other bad thing will certainly go. So when we talk about fighting, people begin thinking only of police who should arrest, take it to court, go to jail and the like. That does not solve the problem. The person will come back from Luzira, even a hardened thief. You get it?
Yes.
He has been taught there are other thieves there. So it will not solve the problem. I'm not saying we should stop. We should punish those who have done that. But for the rest of us, let us leave the police, the IGG, they want to arrest those fellows, take them to court and the like. But on our part, let us talk to them, report those bad things, tell them, ask them to leave it, to stop doing those things and change the mind. Mindset change. You know, when we started talking about mindset change, people will begin talking so much about the mindset change. But what is it? This is exactly what I'm trying to say. Yes. Mindset change is telling everybody that doing the wrong thing, that thing which you are doing is wrong. Please stop it.
Okay.
And when they stop it, then their minds have changed, because the bad things come from our minds.
All right. Thank you so much for that good elaboration. Let's now switch to our listener to get some of the feedback of such a good elaboration. Umulekeresi mlewe simiana nila kwamba katende gone FM mundu kamba Riva Masaba maulide bachini bepe Alex Okello, permanent secretary wa Directorate for Ethics and Integrity. Ni nabani Pastor Aida Masa Ngaino, women leader, Bali Church Elders Fellowship, Ting Ali Pastor and Miracle Life Church. Nabani Reverend Eridadi Melitoni Shisa nga niye Sampini na Mwevika wa St. Andrews Cathedral, Bali Diocese Church of Uganda. Aliapo naonga nomurekeresi bula fiyo liko kurekeresa na bila kunoti musambu tinendo noti ndwera opanoti musambu tirano ndwera tisaba musambu tinetsesaba ufune sirebo show woke ne bakene befe bani bohwira mu hulyo kukanika kubulibwe wongo niyo sesi bakene. Okay.
The good approach is, let us all accept that it is everywhere. Everybody is doing it. And accusing or whatnot does not help. Accusation does not help. Let us tell those people that this thing you are doing is bad. Let us stop it, change, and do the right thing. And start from ourselves also.
Okay.
Because the very people who are saying, oh, this, you might find that actually he is not even declaring the money he is getting to his wife and their children is at home. He is drinking.
Hey.
Yes.
They should declare the money.
Well, that is corruption. If just like your parishioners will not know the money that the parish priest has got.
Yes.
And the parish priest is stealing it. If you get your salary and your wife does not know, and they say, but this child should go to school now, and they say, there's no money, but you are eating pork, you are eating muchomo. You come back home, you say there's no money for buying food, but I am okay. You refuse to eat the maragwe. That is corruption, you see. You might think it is very small, but that is very big.
Okay.
The child is at home, has not gone to school.
Mm.
You are actually killing the life of that child. And that child will become a thief on the street.
Mm.
You get it?
Yes.
That is the corruption. The second one is this arrest. I want to tell you listeners, you see, when the police arrest a person, that person has been accused by somebody. When you report, you must write your name there, and they will even tell you, come and give us statement. Normally, they want to arrest the person, and when they are told, come and give the statement in police, nobody comes. When they say, you will be a witness and go and stand and say this one in court, nobody wants to come.
That's right.
You get it?
Yes.
That person has no case. And the law is very clear. The person will be released. It's not that the police is corrupt. No. If you report something, follow it up, give the information and the like. Now, if you don't want to appear there, send the report as a whistleblower. They will get the details of you, and they will not take you to court there. They will come, you will give the statement to police from your house, from your home. Nobody will know that you are the one who has reported that, but the facts and the figures will be given.
Okay.
That case will be taken to court. Because that is what happens. By the way, most people who report these cases of theft and the like do not want to be witnesses. And there is no case that will be judged without a witness.
Okay.
This other question of, I think somebody said we should supervise the workers, like in the hospitals. Yes, supervising the workers, they are doing. The supervisors, there are also people, superintendents are there. The doctors are there supervising the nurses. But when a mother goes to deliver, has to go with everything. And before she gives 20, 30,000 will not be attended to. You get it?
Yes.
What would the supervisor do? The heart is inside the heart of the nurse. You get it?
Yes.
So that is where I'm saying we must begin looking at ourselves first. That nurse is a daughter of somebody. Might have got that money and come with something, and the mother will say, it's okay, this is good. And when they said, I got the money from that nurse, and to report it, will you say, my daughter, that's wrong? That is what we should fight for.
Okay.
So it is everywhere. I'm not saying that they should continue to do it. And that's why I say we must all turn to put it right.
Okay.
The first question was from someone who said, what should the leaders do to eradicate corruption? He is asking what the leaders should do. I have said here that fighting corruption is not only the leaders. Actually, the leaders who are corrupt, I want to say, his leader, he must be from a sub-county or from a village somewhere. And the leader that I want to give him, the first leader, is his member of parliament.
Okay.
This member of parliament is the highest leader because he's the one who is in parliament.
Yes, yes.
Not so? When the member of parliament was coming for votes, they themselves asked the member of parliament to give them money. You get it?
And what is that?
Do voters not ask money for candidates?
They do.
Uh-huh.
Nowadays.
And when the candidate has given you money, what is that money? Is that not corruption?
It's corruption.
So, to stop your leader there from being corrupt, you should not ask him to give you money for votes. Because you are the one starting the corruption. So the candidate will go and sell his house because the voters want money. He will come and give you the money, millions of shillings, and when he goes up there, he must get money to build back the house. You get it?
Yes. Okay.
So, you see how the corruption is. They are now looking at the leader in Kampala. They forget the money you were collecting from him while he was campaigning. This is what I'm coming to tell people what corruption is. The last one was, I think, when he said they are threatened, when they are reporting, they are threatened. What I want to say is, let him go to the authority, go to the RDC's office, go to police, and report and ask that your identity is not to be known. That is where the Whistleblowers Protection Act works.
Okay.
So this is where we want the leaders, the local leaders, to tell. But the local leaders are the ones who are corrupt. So they will not tell the people how they should report it. That's why I'm here. That's why I was talking to the media.
And he has not stopped you to come back.
You see, and he has not stopped.
Yes.
So you go and report this to the RDC, because the office of the RDC is supposed to receive whistleblowers. You get it?
Yes.
Go to the magistrate court. The office of the magistrate court is supposed to receive whistleblowers. You go and say, I am coming to report a case of corruption. I want to report it as a whistleblower. You get it? In that case, when you report, you remain a whistleblower. How would the leaders know that you are reported and begin harassing you if you yourself have not disclosed it? They shouldn't talk about it.
All right.